Welcome to another deep dive. And this one, oh boy, this one has my inner decorator doing a happy dance. We're taking a trip to the future, 2025 to be exact, to check out the up-and-coming trends in painting and decorating. You sent over this really fascinating collection of articles on the topic, and there's some seriously cool stuff in there. Sustainable materials, tech that sounds like it's straight out of the Jetsons.
Mm.
It's mind-blowing.
It's wild, isn't it, to see how these trends are reflecting a whole new way we think about our living spaces these days. It's not just about what looks nice anymore, it's about making our homes work for us, for our values, for our well-being. And yeah, maybe getting some likes on social media while we're at it.
Totally. Our homes are like an extension of our personal brands now. But before we get lost in that whole Instagram perfect world, I really want to unpack this idea of sustainability. It seems like it's the foundation of a lot of these 2025 trends. So what's the big deal about eco-friendly decorating? Is it just a fad, or is it actually here to stay?
Sustainability in home design. It's about really understanding the impact of the choices we make, from the materials we use to the companies we support. We're talking about creating spaces that are easy on the eyes and good for the planet, too. And no, this isn't a flash in the pan. People are demanding eco-conscious options more and more, and it's being backed up by stricter environmental regulations, too.
So it's not just about feeling good about our choices, it's about making responsible decisions for the long term.
Yeah.
But what does that look like in reality? I need specifics. Are we ditching our paintbrushes for bamboo ones, or what?
Well, it's about looking at the whole decorating process through a sustainable lens. Like paint, for example. Paint's undergoing a major transformation. Low VOC and even no VOC paints are becoming the standard.
Okay, hold on. VOCs.
Oh, right. VOCs, or volatile organic compounds. They're those icky chemicals that evaporate from traditional paints and pollute the air in our homes. They can cause all sorts of health problems.
Whoa, I had no idea paint could be so sneaky. So low or no VOC paint, that's the way to go then.
Absolutely. Healthier air for you, healthier planet for everyone. It's a win-win.
Sign me up. But what about style? Are we sacrificing color and quality for eco-friendliness?
Not a chance. There are tons of companies proving that you can have both. One that comes to mind, Ecos Paints. They use stuff like milk protein and plant-based dyes to make their zero VOC paints.
Milk protein paint. Okay, now you're just messing with me.
No, I'm serious. They've got a great range of colors, and people say their paints are just as good as the traditional stuff.
Wow, milk protein paint. I'm adding that to my list of things to try. Okay, so paint's covered. What about all those gorgeous textured walls we're seeing everywhere? Are those eco-friendly, or are they just for looks?
You're in luck. A lot of those textured wall finishes check both boxes. Clay and lime plasters, for example, those are super popular right now. They add a beautiful depth and visual interest to walls, and they're completely biodegradable.
So no guilt about wanting those Instagram-worthy textured walls then. What about wallpaper? I feel like it's making a comeback, but are there eco-friendly options available?
Absolutely. You can find stunning wallpapers made from recycled paper and all sorts of natural fibers like bamboo and cork.
Oh, really? So they're not just your grandma's floral patterns anymore.
No offense to grandmas with great taste, but these are modern, sophisticated designs that can add a touch of luxury to any space.
That's great to hear. It seems like sustainable options are popping up everywhere, which is amazing.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's jump to technology. These articles are full of these futuristic gadgets and gizmos for our homes. Things like smart paints that change color whenever you want. Is this stuff real, or is it still science fiction?
It's becoming a reality. Smart paints are a really exciting development in the world of decorating. Take thermochromic paints, for example. They actually react to changes in temperature.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, imagine a wall that changes from a cool blue to a warm orange as the room heats up.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I can see how that would be a game changer. What other cool paint technologies are on the horizon?
Electroluminescent paints are getting a lot of buzz. They light up. Can you imagine? Walls that glow in the dark or change color with a flick of a switch. It's still early days, but it has the potential to completely change how we think about lighting and decoration.
No more boring old light fixtures, just walls that double as mood lighting. Okay, I'm sold. Speaking of futuristic, these articles also mentioned AR and VR tools for decorating, where you can try on paint colors and furniture arrangements before you actually commit to anything. Is it as cool as it sounds?
It's incredibly cool and way more accessible than you might think. Augmented reality apps let you use your phone or tablet to see how different paint colors, wallpapers, even furniture would look in your space in real time.
Wow. That's incredible. No more holding up paint swatches and trying to visualize how they'd look. That would have saved me from some serious decorating disasters over the years. Okay, so we've got eco-friendly materials, mind-blowing technology. What other major trends are we seeing in the decorating world?
One of the most interesting is this focus on personalization. It's moving away from those one-size-fits-all aesthetics and embracing designs that reflect the unique personalities and lifestyles of the people who actually live in the spaces.
That makes sense. Our homes should be a reflection of us, not just whatever's trendy. But how do you even begin to translate your personality into a decorating scheme?
Start by asking yourself some key questions. How do you use the space? What kind of atmosphere do you want to create? What colors, textures, objects make you happy? You can also look into the psychology of color.
Color psychology.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So it's not just about choosing your favorite colors, it's about using color strategically to influence your mood.
Exactly. Different colors can evoke different emotions and affect our energy levels, our focus, even our sleep. Cool colors like blues and greens, those are known for being calming and relaxing, making them great for bedrooms and bathrooms. Warmer colors like reds and oranges can be energizing and stimulating, which might make them a better fit for more social spaces like living rooms and dining rooms.
So painting my home office bright yellow to boost my creativity. That might not be a bad idea after all.
It could be just the thing you need.
But with so many colors and potential combinations, where do you even begin? It seems a bit overwhelming.
It definitely can be. That's where having a good decorator can really make a difference. They can help you figure out your own style and create a color palette that matches your vision.
Like having a personal stylist, but for your house. What about those of us who like to do things ourselves, though? Any tips for using color psychology without needing a degree in interior design?
Definitely. A good place to start is thinking about the mood you want for each room. So if you're doing a home office and you want to feel focused and productive, maybe go for a calming blue or a grounding green. But if it's a dining room and you want that lively, warm atmosphere, you might choose something like a rich terracotta or a vibrant yellow.
It's amazing how much thought goes into picking the right colors. I'm seeing my walls in a whole new light now. Speaking of which, let's talk texture. We talked about textured wallpapers and natural wall finishes, but those articles hinted that texture is going to be huge in 2025. What other tactile trends are we going to see?
Three-dimensional wall panels are having a real moment right now. They add a whole other level of visual excitement, a real architectural feel to a space.
Three-dimensional wall panels. Sounds pretty futuristic. Are we talking about those acoustic panels they use in recording studios?
Those are definitely becoming more popular, yeah. Especially as people are trying to cut down on noise at home and make things more peaceful. But 3D wall panels, that's a whole other thing. We're talking panels made from all kinds of materials, reclaimed wood, textured tiles, even metal. You can use them as accent walls to highlight architectural details or even to create a sense of movement in a space.
So it's like turning your walls into art. Those panels sound expensive, though. Any alternatives for those of us who love the look but not the price tag?
For sure, you can get a similar look using molding or trim to make geometric patterns on your walls. A fresh coat of paint in a contrasting color can really make those details stand out.
So simple, but so effective.
Okay.
Okay, we've talked walls a lot, but what about the rest of the room? What kind of furniture and decor styles are working well with these bold walls and tactile textures?
One trend that keeps coming up is minimalist maximalism. Sounds a bit contradictory, right? But it's all about finding a balance between the clean lines of minimalism and the carefully chosen abundance of maximalism.
Break that down for me. How do you combine two completely different styles without it turning into a design disaster?
Okay, so picture this. You start with a clean, minimalist, base neutral walls, a simple sofa, just a few key furniture pieces. Then you add in pops of personality and visual interest, carefully chosen decor, artwork, textiles, maybe a statement furniture piece or a bold accent wall. The goal is to make the space feel curated but also lived in, where each thing has a story or brings you joy.
So it's about making choices that add personality without overwhelming the space, finding that sweet spot between too much and not enough. I like it. You mentioned statement piece of furniture. What makes a statement piece in a minimalist, maximalist world?
It could be anything, really. A vintage armchair with a funky fabric, a coffee table made from an unexpected material, even a really large piece of artwork. The key is to choose something that reflects your style and adds a bit of drama without feeling out of place in a more pared-back setting.
It's like creating a wow moment without sacrificing that feeling of peacefulness. What about colors for furniture and decor in 2025? What are we seeing there?
Unsurprisingly, nature-inspired colors are still big. Warm, earthy tones like terracotta, ochre, burnt orange, they bring this warmth and grounded feeling. Deep blues and greens are calming and tranquil, while muted pinks and yellows add a touch of softness.
Bringing the outdoors in, I love it. How do these
Yeah.
color trends work with minimalist maximalism, though? Are we seeing them in both the basic pieces and the statement pieces?
Definitely. You might have a minimalist sofa in a rich brown, but then you accessorize with throw pillows in different patterns and textures in the same color family. Or maybe a neutral rug with pops of color in geometric patterns or abstract designs. It's about layering those nature-inspired colors in subtle ways.
So the secret is to choose a limited color palette and then play around with different tones, textures, and patterns within that palette.
Exactly. It's a more curated approach to color than, say, a bohemian style, where you might see tons of different hues.
It's all about that balance between visual interest and a cohesive look. Okay, before we wrap things up, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier, smart home tech, and how it's becoming part of interior design.
It's really fascinating how technology and design are coming together. We've talked about those color-changing paints, but there's so much more. Imagine a world where your lights automatically adjust to match your wall color or change throughout the day to mimic natural light. Think about the boost to your mood and productivity.
Okay, now you're just showing off. That's amazing, but also sounds potentially complicated. So are we going to need to hire an electrician and a computer programmer to redecorate our living rooms now?
Not at all. Smart lighting systems are getting much easier to use. You can find smart bulbs that fit into your regular fixtures and connect to an app on your phone. You have complete control over the color and brightness of your lights.
So you're saying we can control the vibe of the whole room with just our phones. That's incredible. But beyond just looking cool, are there any real practical benefits to using smart home tech in our decorating?
Oh, tons. Smart lighting can actually be really good for you. By mimicking the way natural light changes throughout the day, it can help regulate your sleep-wake cycle.
You mean like our circadian rhythm?
Exactly. Better sleep, more energy, maybe even a better mood. Plus, think about the energy savings. Smart lighting can automatically dim or turn off lights when a room's empty.
Saves you money and helps the planet. I like it.
Mm.
It seems like the future of decorating is about way more than just making things look pretty.
You got it. It's about creating spaces that are beautiful and functional, but also good for us, for our health, happiness, or well-being.
So we're talking about like a holistic approach to decorating
Huh.
that takes everything into account.
Exactly. It really shows how much we're starting to understand that our environment and our well-being are connected.
So looking ahead to 2025 and beyond, what's the most important piece of advice you would give to someone who wants to create a home that reflects this more holistic and personal approach to decorating?
Don't be afraid to just go for it, experiment, have fun, let go of the idea that everything has to be perfect, and embrace the little quirks.
I like that. Our home should feel lived in and loved, not like some cold showroom.
100%. It's about creating a space that tells your story.
Beautifully said. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of 2025 decorating trends. It's been so fascinating to explore all these new ideas, from sustainable materials and futuristic technology to this new focus on personalization and well-being.
It really has.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say the future of decorating is looking bright with
Yeah.
so much potential.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, happy decorating, everyone.